good morning, everybody. So my name is M.Sc. I'm a postdoctoral researcher at the chair of Professor Dr. Axel Ockenfels, and I'm going to present you with field design and behavior. So I will provide a brief overview of the courses which are offered in this field, and also about related to research, because most of the teaching courses which are offered in this field are quite closely related in terms of topics, in terms of researchers who are both conducting research and doing the courses, with one of the leading centers, research centers in our economic departments, which is called CSEP. Yeah, so this means Center for Social and Economic Behavior, and that's why if you're interested in this field, it's worthwhile also to briefly talk about what this center is doing, because a lot of courses which are offered, teaching courses, will also incorporate recent research accomplishments which are done in this center. So the basic idea of CSEP is that human behavior is treated as a dependent separate research object. So we assume that Homo economicus concept might not always work, but assuming that people are perfectly rational and only maximizing their own payoff. So that's why in this research agenda, human behavior is treated as a complex research object with always underlying complexities related to interaction of underlying motivations and cognitive processes and so on, which affect behavior. And in this center, people study how these complexities and peculiarities of human behavior, how they affect actually economic outcomes, like markets, institutions, and what can be learned from it to design these markets in an optimal, efficient way. So in terms of methodology, CSAM aims to develop an empirically based theory that explains the effects of motivations and human cognitions for social and economic contexts. And basically this is an intersection of behavioral economics and social psychology. So we incorporate both of these fields. And one of the strong focus of CSEP is that we extensively use laboratory research in order to address real-world problems, such as promoting cooperation and trust in negotiations, or design of optimal incentive schemes in companies or markets. So CSEP includes a lot of researchers, which various research interests, and in turn it is divided in several units, more specialized units. So maybe you can learn about each of these units on the website of CSEP. The most relevant research unit is for the courses offered in this field is design and behavior, economic engineering of firms and markets, which conducts research in order to design mechanisms in firms and markets, taking into account all these limitations and complexities of human behavior. Also related is behavioral management science group, which is more focused on incorporation of behavioral economics knowledge into design of management practices. And three other research units listed here are based on combining research of psychology and economics, and to see what we can learn from each other. Again, I'm inviting you to consult the CSEP website for details. And now let me come to the teaching part. So in this model, we offer the following courses, like seminar design and behavior. I will talk about each of these courses in details in the next slides. So maybe I will not name them now, but what you can see already from this table, so if you choose this field, there will be only one compulsory course, seminar design and behavior, so which you should anyway take if you choose this field, and you also have to choose 2 out of elective courses, which are remaining courses. So in total, you will then have to have 18 credit points. Okay. So now I will provide the brief overview over each of these course courses which are offered, or modules. So the first module is seminar design and behavior. So which, as I told you before, this is a compulsory course in this field. So this is basically a quite standard seminar. Maybe I guess you know what a seminar is. Just to remind you, so where the students study contemporary theoretical and practical literature on some research topic, and then they normally present a paper, like scientific research paper, for instance, and discuss it in class with other participants, and also sometimes also have to prepare a written report, like either describing the paper which you studied or more broadly the topic. So the manager of this model is Professor Bettina Rockenbach, and so this model is quite general in terms of topics, so it covers all current issues in market design, behavioral and experimental economics, and within this broad field, some specific courses are offered each semester. So what concerns next semester, there will be 2 seminars. One is called Topics in Behavioral Economics, and taught by Dr. Lucas Venner. And in the next semester, if you choose this course, you will deal with risk preferences, how risk preferences affect economic decision making. And another seminar which is offered in this module is called Topics in Market Design by Professor Dr. Westcomb. So in this seminar, you will analyze and study modern problems in designing different markets, like markets for spectrum auctions, online markets, school choice markets, and so on. Okay, so the next big module is economic engineering. So this is also one of the core courses in this field, managed by Professor Axel Ockenfels. So the idea of this course is to study modern challenges and problems arising in real-world markets. Yeah, please.
I have a question concerning the seminar. Is it also offered in the winter semester, or?
Yes.
So you can choose either.
Yeah. As far as I know. Yeah. So the next model is economic engineering. So here the idea is to study challenges and problems arising in real-world markets, because often these markets function not as typically written in textbooks, in undergraduate textbooks, at least, because some of the assumptions are assumed typically for ideal markets are violated. For instance, there is asymmetric information of market participants, inelasticity of demand, or technological restrictions. And in order to deal with these real-world problems, one needs to undertake so-called economic engineering approach, which studies how we should adjust institutional details of different markets, how we should fix them, taking into account all the complexities in these markets, and also the complexities of underlying human behavior. Yeah, as we talked before, because human behavior is also very complex, and sometimes people behave in a way which might not be predicted even immediately, and needs to be studied separately. So yeah, so in this course you will identify problems in markets, develop possible solutions, discuss them, and we will cover many practical applications, including matching markets, auction markets, online markets like eBay, Amazon, internet advertisement markets, and so on. So this will be taught in winter semester 2018-2019 by Professor Dr. Ockenfels, Professor Crampton, and Professor Dr. West. Okay. Any questions? Okay. So the next module is auction theory. So this will be taught also by Professor Crampton in winter semester 2018-2019. So this will be basically a quite advanced course in economic theory of auctions. So you will cover on a quite advanced level the main theoretical topics which refer to auction theory. So as you know, auctions are markets where several bidders compete for one or several goods by submitting their bids to the auctioneer, who then decides how to how to allocate these goods based on these bits using various rules. So in this course you will really study it in very thorough level and cover the following topics like different types of auctions, first price auctions, second price auctions, auctions of private or interdependent values, and more generally mechanism design of auctions, like how we can design optimal auctions, how to maximize efficiency or revenues. So all this will be covered in this course. So the next related course is contract theory. So contract theory studies how the contracts between several parties should be designed in the presence of asymmetric information. Typically, then one party has some private information, for instance, about its type or effort which it wants to exert, and this is unknown to other parties, so the problem design of optimal contracts becomes non-trivial in this context. And so you will cover most of you will cover the main concepts of information economics, like moral hazard, adverse selection. You will study main problems like the principal-agent models, where the principal has to incentivize the agent to exert effort, which is not observable or verifiable. Incomplete contracts, where not all contingencies can be contracted upon. And more generally, mechanism design, so how we should design incentives, design contracts, for instance, in order to align the incentives of economic agents with the underlying goals of the mechanism.
One question.
Yeah.
Is this model only offered in German, or is it?
It's offered in German, yes.
Because it's written in English.
Yeah, so it's Vertragstheorie, actually, its official name. So the next model is behavioral economics. So behavioral economics is basically related a lot to is a very broad field, which basically departs from the concept of homo economicus, which was assumed in the classical traditional economics. So behavioral economics assumes that people are not always perfectly rational, so behave in a perfectly rational way with unlimited cognitive resources, and not only maximize their material payoffs, but a lot of other behavioral determinants play a role, like social preferences, bounded rationality, limited attention, and so on. And the course, which is offered by Dr. Lauer, will cover most of the most important topics in behavioral economics, including modern theoretical and empirical debates, since it's a very evolving field, which a lot of topics are still heavily discussed, and there is no clear consensus even. And so you will also understand the way in which behavioral economics has developed and how it relates to traditional models of economics, and also assess the strengths and weaknesses of different competing theories of economic behavior. Okay, so the next module is called Topics, Design and Behavior. So this is also this is a very kind of broad topic, but normally it includes several specific seminars, like the first seminar course which I told you before, and again the broad topic of this model is all the latest issues in institution and market design, as methods and theories used in behavioral economics and applied microeconomics, so quite broad topic. So in the next semester, for instance, there will be only one seminar offered within this module, which is called Conducting Experiments with Z-Tree. So Z-Tree is the main experimental software used to conduct experiments. So if you yourself are interested in doing experimental research later on, or generally interested in the field of experimental economics, it's very much worthwhile to take this course, which is taught by Dr. Lauer. Okay, and of course, so it's only for the next semester. In the winter semester, there will be probably different seminars offered within this module. So please consult the respective webpage of Chair Sabrina Rockenbach. And the final module is called Mention and Market Design, Theory and Practice. So in this module, you will have a very thorough introduction to information deals with markets which cannot be where we cannot use monitor transactions for some reasons. For instance, markets for organ exchange. Yeah? So we cannot really buy and sell organs in Germany, for instance. And there one needs to design direct matching mechanism where we match different sides of the markets to each other without monitoring mediation. And in this course, which is taught by Professor Dr. Westkamp, you will learn about leading theoretical models of matching markets, and also learn how we can use the mixture of these theoretical models, experimental research, and empirical research to analyze existing matching mechanisms, and if necessary, design better ones. Because of course, as you learn in this course, all these matching mechanisms which are used in real practice, they're not always perfect. They are subject to specific design problems, and of course, it still remains a challenge to optimize this mechanism and to design better ones. And the topics which are covered in this course are one-sided matching, like housing location, organ exchange; two-sided matching, like the labor markets, entry-level labor markets, school choice, matching with programs, and so on. Okay, so far we saw all the models which are offered in this field. I would also finally like to draw your attention that we have a funding opportunity for experimental master thesis. So if you would like to conduct an experiment by writing your master work, you might apply to the CSEP student grant. Yeah, so because experiments are normally very costly, and so you have to have some money to run them, and the student grants provide a perfect opportunity to implement your research in your thesis field. And the more information you can get on the CSEP website, where all these funding opportunities are described. Okay, so that's it. Thank you for your attention, and if you have any questions, I'm a bit answering.
Are there only 2 cases in this summer from these organizations, just the Z3 and the seminar?
In the summer? You mean in the whole field?
Yeah.
Good question. So, for instance, contract theory is offered also in summer semester. Let me start from the beginning. Okay, so seminar design and behavior, we have 2 seminars, topics in behavioral economics and topics in market design. So economic engineering is offered in winter semester. Action theory is also offered in winter semester. So contract theory is offered in summer semester. Behavioral economics is in winter semester. Topics design and behavior, conducting experiments, etc. is offered in the summer semester. And matching is offered in the winter semester. Okay, more questions? Okay, thank you. Yeah, please.
So these are all the courses that are offered in the whole next year, or is there any chance that that there are additional courses for the winter semester?
Yes, so there will be a chance that you will have additional courses for winter semester. So now, for instance, in the seminar design and behavior, for instance, something might be offered in winter semester. So you need to consult Ilias or Clips in order to get to know of any updates in winter semester. Yeah, please.
Can you briefly say how which of these modules or courses are offered in English?
Not all of them are offered in, some of them are offered in English. So you should again look at Clips website to see whether they're offered in English or German. Yeah, so for instance, the seminar topics in behavioral economics is offered in English, economic engineering is offered in English. But for more details, please consult first. Yeah? Okay, so if there are no questions anymore, so then we have